start with last week. Obviously, a disappointing result and performance in your last hit out. Now that you've done the analysis and you've talked with the squad, what are you going to be most looking to improve after that one?
I think the biggest message was just to be us. I think we've played really, really well throughout the majority of the season. We've probably been a little bit unfortunate where we've had, starting players fall with injury, and then it takes time to reintroduce new players into the squad, into probably positions that they normally wouldn't take up, or probably they're not their most preferred positions. And even then we've had to sort of have a couple of tactical changes in formation and how we operate. So all that takes time, but in terms of what I've asked from them and what we've done, bar last weekend, I think, still very proud of the group. And, these things happen in football where we're a young team and, we continue to learn, and we're just hoping to, have a great game tomorrow and bounce back. And we have an excellent opportunity. Top of the table clash at Amy Park and, a bit of a Melbourne derby as well. So it all sets up for a great chance for us to respond. And it's another game, another 3 points, and we're looking forward to just be us. That was probably the most simplest message that I sent to the group.
Well, you do mention there that this is a young group. Do you think maybe a result like last week, coming after a run of strong games, just a bit of a wake-up call that will keep them sharp the rest of the season now? They know what the good teams in this league can do to them if they're not going 100%.
Yeah, look, it was, it was, in terms of being a bit disappointing, it was everything sort of we worked on, we looked at, we knew their threats. So in terms of that, was a little bit disappointing. Okay, as a team, you can have off nights. It's happened to the greatest teams in the world, and like we've been saying, we're a young team and few players out of position and stuff. But everything's about learning, especially for not just the young ones, for myself as well. When you get older, whether you're at the end of your career or at the start of your career, you always want to learn, you always want to improve, you want to get better. So we knuckled down this week. We took individuals aside, and I think when you win, it's easy to take. It's nice to sit down and look, and I think it's you learn the most when it hasn't probably been the greatest performance. So they were still asking, they still wanted to do their individuals, and that speaks volumes about the group. That even when it's hard to look, that they were still willing and they wanted to. And again, the week leading into the Sydney game was excellent, and this week has been excellent as well. So, it's just, hopefully it's a one-off, and that'll be up to us then tomorrow to make sure that it was a one-off.
Yeah. I mean, you've said multiple times when we've chatted that you think the Western United performance last time was perhaps your best performance of the season, even if the result was a defeat. How do you go about this time around making sure that the actual result reflects the performance you'll be hoping to put in?
Well, I think, when you create that many chances, and we missed the penalty, we hit the crossbar, I think 3-4 times. We created heaps of final passes we're just missing for potential tap-ins and that. So, it's not every single day that'll go against you. So, but again, I've said to them, football's it's a funny sport where sometimes when you completely deserve to win, you don't, and sometimes when you don't deserve to get anything, you win. So, we just want to perform, play the best to our ability, and then that gives us every chance tomorrow to take the 3 points. But we know we're up against a good team. They're, coming off 2 losses, and this will be their 3rd game. So, they'll throw everything at us tomorrow, and they want to get their season back on track. And same as us, we want to put ourselves back in the winners column and keep pushing and putting pressure on that top spot.
And this is the last game before the international break. Does that affect how you'll be approaching things at all? You've got a couple of football ferns in the team. You've got a couple of players that will be heading away with the young Matildas. Does that come into your thoughts at all?
Look, not too much. It is what it is. So we're always, it's an honour for us as well, and I'm sure for the ladies, they go away with their national teams, and we're very proud as a club that we can have 2 in the young Matildas and 2 in the football ferns. So they're all preparing for big things, especially our two ferns who are have a World Cup not too far away. So, but again, for the others, it's just we'll just business as usual. We'll continue working. Probably gives us a better chance, especially Cote's also. She's got a big qualifier coming up for Chile to book her place at the World Cup. So we hope she comes back as a World Cup participant with Chile. And then, once we get back all together. But in the meantime, we've got a friendly coming up against the young Matildas, which will be, we're looking forward to that. And it gives us a chance to work with the group, maybe a little bit more individually and spend more time with now that we've got lesser numbers. And then, once we welcome everyone back, then again, there'll be that fight for starting positions. And then yeah, we're really looking forward then to restart the league and finich off strongly.
And then I guess just on those starting spots, because you got the friendlies coming up. Is there any sort of messaging going on where it's like, look, do whatever you want to anyone else. You touch any of our players get injured, you're on the bench for the rest of the play. Anything like that, or is it just go out and obviously let everyone do what they're going to do?
Yeah, that's it. Just we go out. We'll prepare for that Young Matildas game like any other game. So they're coming here to our training venue, and we're looking forward to it. So we'll help them, and they're helping us in their preparation and in our preparation, and it'll give some of these younger girls a good practice game playing against our most talented young ladies within the league. And so yeah, it's a great chance. We'll have some really young ones that will be participating and others that are trying to put their hand up for that squad. So again, it helps us to prepare. We might work on a couple of things, although it might be where we got so many players are away, but again gives us a chance to work and to prepare and maybe have one little eye on Newcastle, and just because again as we've seen in this season where Amina unfortunately gets injured and Naomi gets injured and Barbs and we still got Holly coming back, Cortez away, so it can happen. It's part of sport, part of football. So I'm confident we've got enough players. Everyone's prepared. Everyone knows their roles. So if someone goes down, we've got someone ready to step in and fill that player's position.
And given that you've got the bye week coming out of the international break, does having that friendly against the Young Matildas help offset the bye week a little bit, because you won't be going two weeks without game time?
Yeah, I think so. We were probably looking to play a game there, so it works well in our preparation. We'll give them a bit of a break after the game, where they'll have a bit of time to freshen up, being the last sort of chance where we have that opportunity, and then we'll come back. We'll have that friendly, and then the following week we'll probably have a little bit of an internal game, and just continue to work and get ready for that Newcastle game. So. Look, you always want to keep playing, but it might not be a bad thing to have a little bit of a rest and a recovery, and then we can sort of increase the load, and then we can decrease it, then looking into that Newcastle game and be fit and firing.
And I asked this of Katie as well, who we spoke to just before. You've got the bye week. How much do you try to shut off during a bye week? And obviously, with the Pride celebration that's been announced. Do you maybe try to shut off a little bit less because of the unique occasion and the celebrations that everything brings, and check out more football than you might usually would on a bye week? Or is it just for you full business as usual?
Just full business. I never shut off, unfortunately. So I wake up sometimes early in the morning and I'm thinking about different movements, different patterns, and what threats are they going to give us. So I imagine it'll be the exact same, even for those few days off. But look, for me personally, it'll be a nice opportunity just to go spend some time with the family who are away in Adelaide, and so it'll be beautiful to go see them. But again, in the back of my mind, I'll still be thinking of the ladies and how we can improve and what we can do when we get back to training. So business as usual. So yeah, but again, it'll be, I think, nice for everyone to have that little time away and for the players to refresh, and our minds will still be ticking 100 miles an hour.
Any more, guys? Are we all good?
Sorry, Dario, I did want to ask again about that game last week. You spoke there about the threats and the patterns of play. Before the game last week, you had actually spoke as well about the threat of Sydney in transition on the counter-attack. That obviously played out in, I think, all three of the goals that you guys conceded.
Yep.
At the same time, you talk about wanting to be you, playing how you want to play. For the rest of the season, do you need to think about a bit of a balance between that possession-based style that you play and finding other solutions?
Oh, look, we did have that solution. I heard, they were talking about when Bowie, we were trying to bring her in the build-up into the midfield. So we would, we had the overload to begin with Hayley, and we know with Vine and with Abini, they'll jump on occasions, and just the distance between the players was a little bit too far. So. It was a bit disappointing that we didn't really, play to the best of our ability in terms of structurally, but again, good learning curve. But we're trying to not be too predictable, and when we have the ball, that's when we're the best. Then you control the transition. But I felt like we were just sort of maybe a little bit too rushed, and we just played into sort of their hands where we just couldn't maintain it for long enough in good periods and force their back three back. So. even on one of the goals, it's our throw in, and if we practiced that 1,000 times, it wouldn't go once under her foot. And unfortunately, on this occasion, it goes under, and Courtney goes 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and a good finish. So it was just I think just one of those afternoons. But we can't now sort of throw away all the good work. The game that we played against Western, where we controlled the whole game, we were playing beautiful football, and it was just regardless of the result, it was actually like a joy to watch, and there was many compliments after. Although the result wasn't kind, and it wasn't the result we were after, but there's been many occasions where we've played really, really good against really good teams and dominated, and we've been scoring goals, and we've unfortunately lost a couple of key attacking players. So naturally, that takes time to adjust to and to find other avenues to go. But I think I've been proud of the ladies, how we've performed for the season, and then after this break we'll look forward to welcoming Kotte and Holly back, and then hopefully Naomi, Carly, and Bubs are not too far behind as well.